people, welcome to a presentation about contemporary spirituality in theory and praxis. This presentation is machine translated by Google Translate, and sorry for some mistranslating words. Although the links they are often referred to German sources, but somehow you can translate it by Google Translate to find the according information. I'm happy to present you, let's say, information aspects about contemporary spirituality, which is quite important. We are spiritual human species, yeah. But at least me, I feel some contradictions in the Bible and also in the church, but it can be solved. I see that there are truths in the cosmos, in the universe, yeah, which is very clear and accurate, yeah, and there are no contradictions, yeah. And this I want to present you some aspects, yeah, some, let's say, a little bit light, what is well known already. We have a big treasure now, the mankind, of new aspects concerning spirituality. Welcome. It's complex. There are a lot of topics, yeah, and see it more like a menu card about the different topics. And if it resonates with you, if you feel, that's my topic, then you can go more deep using the internet or using my links, yeah, to go more in detail about this topic, yeah. So I speak about many different topics just to make you curious, and maybe some topic resonates with you and the other one just ignore it, yeah, then it's not the time or not really the topic. I see the different religions as a great treasure of mankind. Diversity is a treasure of mankind. But life is dynamic. Everything is changing. So I also think that the let's say the message of the church or of the religions, it should change on some aspects to adapt to the current situation, that you can solve the problems. Anyway, we have a lot of violence, we have a lot of war in the world, so something goes wrong. Something goes wrong. Otherwise, we had peace. Yeah, if the people understand, let's say, our agenda, what we are here for, we wouldn't make war. I think there is a misunderstanding that the people make war, yeah, because they harm themselves a lot. So that's my goal, or that's my aspect of communicating the real truth. There is no absolute truth or no relative truth, but to widen the horizon, to see more what the life wants from us, from me, from everybody. God, give me the courage to change what I can change, but give me the serenity to accept what I cannot change, and the wisdom to distinguish between these two. Church and faith are two different things, two different matters. Yeah. Let's say a good product and not a good marketing. We can say it. We have a very spirituality is a very good product if you're thinking in these terms. Yeah. But the marketing is so and so. Yeah, there's light and shadow, maybe no religions, I don't know, but the content is something very precious, yeah, because we are spiritual human species, yeah, that's why. And here's a story of a guy who was in, I can read it and then you can understand why some people are critical. The son of a German soldier who was involved in the Russian campaign in World War II had something to say about his father. He didn't tell me about the war, but he described one thing to me vividly. Before the major offensive against the East started, the tanks were lined up, and the priest walked them with a crucifix in his hand and blessed them, and then said a prayer with the soldiers about charity. He emphasized the 10 Commandments And especially is the commandment, you should not kill. Since this experience, his father had nothing to do with the church anymore. Never went to church again. It all seemed too hypocritical to him. That doesn't mean that his father has no faith anymore. But he said, the marketing is not well. What they are doing from this treasure, that's not okay. Contradictions in church life, I do see. Yeah, maybe you see something else, or you see no contradictions. There was a fight against the liberation theology in South America, which is more about social justice, yeah, about humanity, but the official church was fighting against this. The power structures in the church, it's not democratic. Yeah, I think that's not the wish of our Creator to have these power structures. The wealth and of the church and the poverty of the rest of many people in the world. That's also a contradiction. Support the government policies, at least in Germany, it's very extreme that they do it. Maybe they are obliged to that, but they often do it. People who are divorced are not remarried again. Yeah, that's not fair. That's not fair, I think. The personal behavior of the priest versus the teaching, that's sometimes a contradiction. And the child abuse as well. But also in the teachings there is some contradictions. The Old and New Testament says, I said, you're gods. You are gods. Yeah, there is something of you inside you, yeah, which gives you God dignity. But we hear often you're sinners or victims of fate. We are poor sinners. That's a contradiction for me. Faith or engagement. Faith only saves people. That's what some people say. Seriously? Whatever I do, it doesn't matter. The most important is that I take Jesus as my master, let's say. Yeah? I don't know. We are only saved by Jesus, and all other religions are on the wrong path. I don't believe that. That cannot be. That's not a God with justice. But we have a God full of justice. We do have. If somebody has never heard something of Jesus and of the Bible, and then he get lost, people, I don't share that. There is too much about sinners in the church and eternal damnation. And they say the forgiveness of all sins by Jesus on the cross, in the past and in the future. I have my problems with that. But I don't want to stay too long with this topic. For example, when he was crucified, he said to one of this on his side, today you are with me in the paradise. Yeah? I think, okay, maybe one of these other guys who get killed realized what really means light, what really means the good way of life, the correct way of life. Okay, but that all his sins are deleted, yeah, that's not fair against the people who always try to be good human, try to help other people, try to be a good social partner, and so on. Yeah, and I think there is a justice. It depends what you are doing, and also from your religious relation, maybe. There is often a brutality in the Old Testament on behalf of God, but that's not my image of God. I think he's not brutal, he's not killing other people. But the Old Testament, you find this, yeah. And there's a lot about animal sacrifice, but in other places, God deliberately don't want that. Yeah, he said, I want justice. I like your animal sacrifice. I hate it. I cannot smell the smoke. Yeah. So, in the New Testament, there's not so much cruel and things anymore. It's more peaceful. Does the Creator change? Does he change? Yeah. The most important commandment is what Jesus said: you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your mind, and with all your strength. That's number one. When I was young, I fell in love with a girl who unfortunately flew to Turkey in that time. We stayed in touch through letters, and my emotions were at their peak. I had endless energy, and my school grades was very good. When I met her in Turkey, I immediately realized that the relationship was impossible. From one moment to the next, the dream image collapsed, and I was emotionally destroyed. That's when I understand religion. You need someone whom you love all the time, but he can never collapse, whom you never reach. And then the flow of energy is always constant. That gives you energy the whole life. If the heart is linked to the creator of your life, a lot of energy can flow. My mother is now 96 years old, is even more old, and she still loves Jesus. Or let's say he's her creator, or your higher self. Yeah? And she's doing very well with it. Everybody had this opportunity. And then Jesus said, you should love your neighbors as well as yourself. Loving yourself, myself, is very important. Very important. That doesn't mean egoism. Have I already told you that I fell in love? Believe it or not, I'm in love with myself. This has nothing to do with selfishness or narcissism. It means that I take good care of myself, and I take care of my body through healthy eating, sport, exercises, learning, and so on. I like myself the way I am, even if everything isn't perfect, even with my physical impairments, even with my shadow sides, which I'm well aware of it. And some people always point on it. Okay, to keep me awake, that there need some points to be changed. But I see what's still possible, physically, mentally, and spiritual. And I'm in love with my Creator because He made me wonderful. I could not do that. He must be much smarter and more creative than I am, and also have a great technical skills that far extend my understandings. On top of that, it seems to be an excellent programmer. I could never make such brilliant software. There is one commandment which is called, you should not kill. You should not kill. This is unconditionally, without ifs and buts and something else. You should not kill life. Doesn't this apply to all life? We didn't create life. Are we allowed to dispose of it? Doesn't this also apply to my own life concerning suicide? May I dispose of my life? I didn't create it. And I should shut it down by myself? I don't know. I think it's not allowed. For sure, the life of others. I'm not allowed to kill somebody else, even not in more. But it also concerns the life of animals, of all animals maybe, because they also have a soul, they are also life, so we shouldn't kill animals. That's what you can see from this command. You shouldn't destroy nature, it's full of life. Doesn't that apply as well? Jesus in the scriptures repeated again and again for not to sacrifice animals and not eating meat. Unfortunately, the Bible has also been revised in this regard, changed in this regard. If we are attacked, I think we can defend ourselves without killing others. But this is a difficult case, especially in war. It must be examined very careful what is really behind the war, because many times it's power obsession of people. People are often instrumentalized for war. And if they take this command seriously, war is finished. The power people can make war, but nobody's going there because they say, no, I'm not allowed to kill other people. I'm not allowed. I should speak with him and ask why you do that, why you attack me. And there's a reason behind it. Every action has a reason. And we have to understand why the other gets aggressive. Yeah? Face Jesus and eating meat. This is a topic which was very seriously for Jesus, but unfortunately it was somehow deleted from the Bible. There are many references that really Jesus doesn't like people eating meat. There are many alternatives. We have to know that the meat is not really healthy for people anymore, and that production of meat is very energy intense. You need a lot of other food for feeding the animals, and that makes the starving is increasing worldwide if too many people are eating meat. There are a lot of people who analyze the Bible in this respect, and they say really when there is no other alternative, that means in not good times, then the meat is an option for human. But if other food in abundance, it's not necessary. The crucifix is a topic I'm quite, how to say, I don't understand why we put the crucifix in this church, in our house. I didn't have it in my house because the cross is something holy, but I think not the crucifix. Yeah. When we have a good friend, we keep the best image from this friend when he died. The best image. Why we shouldn't keep the best image of Jesus in our heart and not the crucifix? Yeah, we say, okay, he's starving for our sins. Sorry, I don't believe that. I'm responsible for my sins, and I don't want Jesus to be responsible for my sins. They belong to me, and I love him too much. I don't want to abuse him for my sins. No, I'm responsible for my sins, and not he. Maybe cruel people, they want Jesus, they want to abuse Jesus for their sins, but I don't want that. Too precious for me, for misusing him for that. And there are many texts in the Bible where you can see, how to say, that at least if you look from your heart on the crucifix, yeah, and say, why I don't keep a good image from Jesus? Why it must be the crucifix? By the way, in South America, it's not like that. They don't have so much the crucifix. It's more in Germany, in Europe, yeah. And this is for me also a little bit a contradiction. This was an introduction for today, for contemporary spirituality, and thank you for being here, and it will continue with other topics. See you again later on. Bye bye.